Good evening, Fernwood. It is your romantically challenged friend Neil, and it's time for us to come face to face with another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 189 from December 23rd, 1976. Yesterday was troubling and emotional, so I want to talk about it. We started with Martha admiring HB at the Fernwood PD after he helped break up the prostitution ring run by Big Honey. Martha declares that she is ready for their relationship to get closer, and she doesn't feel the need to wait 7 years for George to reappear. They're interrupted by this lady of the night that wants to call her mother because it's her birthday. When it comes to the topic of sex, HB tells the tragic story of the one time in his life that he had sex, which ended with him traumatized and unable to have sex ever again. And unfortunately, without sex, Martha feels the need to break up this relationship, and Howard says that he will always remember her. It gets really rough at the Gimbels household as Garth prepares for a new job at the factory. He yells out for Patty, who appears and asks him not to hit her in the face, and then dons her son's sports gear to keep herself protected. Garth shoves her around on screen, and then there's a bit of a chase. Patty runs into a room, slams the door behind her, and Garth follows, and inside we hear violence. Then the chase continues and Patty locks herself in the room, and as Garth leaves for work, he takes a look at a page of her writings, decides that it's porn, and throws her typewriter at the ground. That night, a concerned Mary thanks Tom for the giant purchase he has made, though underneath it it's clear that she's very worried about the amount of money that he is spending. Tom is angry at being criticized over this, so Mary lets it go, and they go to sleep feeling their feelings, more separate than they have ever been. The next day in the Hartman kitchen, Heather gets a visit from a new friend. That would be Philip Gimbel. They get to know each other a bit, talk about their views on sexuality. Philip asks Heather on a date, to which she says yes, and then Heather gets a phone call from someone claiming to be George, though the voice doesn't sound quite like George, and Heather's left wondering what the hell is going on. And everyone, like I said, it was a very emotional and troubling episode. I think we're expecting more today. We have some storylines we haven't touched on in a little while. Let's see what happens.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
Hey, Garth.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hi, Tiny.
What are you doing down here?
Well, I just thought I'd, drop in and see some of the guys. And listen, if you guys haven't seen Ralph Crimmins, have you? He's not in his office.
Look at you.
What?
Man, that's a real good-looking suit you're wearing.
Yeah, you like it, huh? Listen, you got this suit for me. You did me a big favor when you fired me from this job, Tiny. You know that? I mean, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be selling RVs like I am now, selling them like hotcakes. And when you're in my kind of business, meeting the public all the time, you got to dress up,
Yeah, doesn't that feel good? To wake up in the morning and put on a fresh, clean shirt and a tie.
The last time I had a tie on was when I went to my cousin Sally's shotgun wedding. I hate ties.
Yeah, well, you kind of get used to them, And hands. Man, my hands have been clean for months. Listen, you guys, you haven't seen Ralph around, have you, huh?
You don't miss working here at the plant at all?
No, I miss the guys a little bit, but, some of my best friends are working here, but, hell no, I don't miss working here, Hell no. I mean, I wouldn't work here if this was the last place on earth. For one thing, I'm making a little change now, you know what I mean? Big bucks, huh?
Hell, I'm making all I need already. But I suppose if I had a wife and a kid, that'd be a different story.
Yeah, well, I do have a wife and a kid, so I gotta get back to work. Come on, Tiny.
Me too.
Take care of yourself, Tom.
Yeah, okay, Garth, I'll see you later. Yeah, good seeing you, huh?
Yeah, same here.
See you.
See you around, Hartman.
Ralph, listen. Hey, I've been looking all over for you.
Hey,
Yeah, I looked in your office. You weren't there.
they told me. Good to see you, Tom.
Yeah, good to see you. How you been?
You
Yeah.
sure are looking successful.
Yeah, well, everything's going great. No kidding. Just terrific.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
So, What can I do for you?
Well, I was hanging around. I just thought I'd, check with you on something. Well, the other day, something just popped into my head, and I just thought I'd check it out with you.
Okay, what is it?
Well, it's not really important. I was just sitting around, thinking, and I thought to myself, hey, Tom, you got $600 left in the credit union.
No, I don't think so, Tom.
No, wait a minute, Ralph. Wait a minute. When I was here, if you remember, I wasn't all that sober all the time, you know what I mean? And I do remember having $600 left in the credit union, and I don't remember taking it out.
But you did take it out. When a man leaves the plant, all his records are thoroughly checked. I check them personally, and you're all clear. You have nothing left in the credit union.
Are you sure, huh?
Absolutely sure, nothing there.
Well, it's not important anyway. I just hate to have a lot of loose ends hanging around, it's not important. It's really not important. No, really not important at all, you know what I mean? Let me have a sip of that coffee, will you?
Christine.
Darling, I'm sorry I barged in on you.
Christine, this may be your house, but I don't like people walking in without knocking. I am entitled to some privacy.
I'm very sorry, darling, but I'm also very upset.
What is it?
Catherine, how much are you showing?
Enough. Why?
Well, I just had a phone call from Daddy, and he's away on a business trip. But he's anxious to rush home and see how much I'm showing. He said that when Mother was pregnant, she showed at 2.5 months.
Not all people show that quickly.
You do.
Well, most of it's baby fat.
Well, what can I do to protrude gracefully? Could we use pillows or something?
Why didn't you think of this before?
Well, I've never been pregnant before, and I never had to pretend.
Okay, let's see. How about this? You can stuff this under your shirt. No, huh? Well, let's see. This should do just fine.
Oh, Kathy.
Wait, put it in this way.
Oh, it's so ugly, dear.
Well, you're not going to see it underneath your shirt. There.
Well, how does it look?
Looks perfect.
All right, now, I'm just not clear on one more thing. How do you walk?
Well, walk.
Walk.
Well, you just sort of move, and the baby moves with you.
Does this look real?
Well, not exactly.
Do it again. Oh, Kath, with a little bit of practice, I'm sure I can be just as elephantine as you are. Oh, I'm sorry. It's all in the waddle, isn't it? There. There. Oh, Kathy.
That looks real.
Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you for everything you have made me feel. Just like a woman.
Christine, there's something else that I wanted to talk to you about now that you're here. Remember when you found Brian and I on the floor right before you went to Aspen? Well, he was only helping me with my natural childbirth exercises. That is all.
In your present condition, believe me, I trust Brian implicitly.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Oh, dear. Give this back to you. And, Kath, I think you ought to take Geritol daily. You are looking terribly, terribly peaked. Bye. I must get a letter opener. Maybe for Christmas. You're a real good friend. From Cousin Joe and Roberta and Little Skipper. Here we are on the banks of the Ohio River. Wish you were here. Merry Christmas. What are they doing on the banks of the Ohio River? It's the middle of winter. Well, I hope they brought gloves. Okay. Must get one. To Mary, Tom, and Heather, with love, Aunt Bettina. Oh. Will you look what happened to her in just 1 year? Honestly, a grown woman of her stature sitting on Santa's lap. Maybe she knows him personally. From the National Center of Sexual Activities. What? I didn't know they sent Xmas cards. Oh, that seems very perverse. Dear sister, we are sending you this questionnaire on female sexual response to poll the nation's women and reveal their innermost feelings about sexual relations. This questionnaire is for women only. Please guard it from the men in your life as it is highly confidential. Sponsored by Women as National Resources Committee.
Mary, I just got my very first X-rated Christmas card.
Oh, no, Ma, you too? Is it from the Sexual Activity Center?
Why, I can't believe my eyes. Some of these questions are so personal. I wouldn't even tell George any of the answers, even if he were here. Did Heather really talk to George, or was she just kidding?
No, she thinks so, but she just isn't sure. You know how careless children are with telephones. Now, this questionnaire, Ma. Now, I'm not sure what this is, but isn't this against the law? And, you know, Tom is on the new committee to get pornography out of the home and back into the community, or whatever. And Detective Johnson is a friend of the family, even though you did break up with him.
Mary,
What?
Mary,
You
won't
not
believe what I got in the mail.
Oh, my goodness. Did you all get...
Yes!
Oh, Mrs. Shumway, you too?
For heaven's sakes, I'm not that over the hill.
I don't understand this. I don't understand this. What's going on here? Do you think that all of the women in Fernwood got this questionnaire?
Well, I don't know, but if Garth ever sees it... Oh, my
my
goodness.
God.
What should we do?
I know, everybody. I think we should sit down and read them. Oh, Ma, look at these questions. How often do you have a peak experience?
Do you peak alone or with a partner?
What's a partner?
Well, maybe they mean like the buddy system in swimming.
How well do you know your body? Please describe how best your body can be stimulated. I would be pregnant at a time like this.
Do you do it alone?
What kind of movements do you make?
What positions do you prefer?
Do you do it alone?
How flexible are you?
Oh, yes, I'm very flexible.
Do you do it alone?
What?
What?
Oh, nothing. I'm sorry, it's nothing. Please, describe your body's reactions to the act. Muscles tense, relaxed, moving, facial expressions. Facial expression. Does anybody find this embarrassing?
No.
Oh.
Are you married or single? Strike me out there.
Where are your feet?
Would anyone like coffee?
No.
I'd be glad to run out and buy some.
Do you enjoy outside lovers? How many at a time? Mary?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just need a little air, and also there's coffee out there.
Oh, Mary, don't be upset now. They're just conducting a survey to tell what pleases women the most. It's like the height report.
Oh, I know. It shouldn't take me long. I'll be right back.
Mary, they're just asking women to fill out these questionnaires, so it will help them with their play.
I know. That's why I'll get coffee. I figure that'll help. I'm sorry.
I wonder who is sending these things out. Who reads them?
It doesn't matter who reads them. Look.
Mary, wait. The questions get better as they go along. Now, listen to this. When more than one couple...
All right, everybody. All right. Let's take a vote. How many want U-Ban? How many want Maxwell House? And how many want just plain instant? Is everybody in favor of filling out the questionnaire?
Yes.
Okay. I am too. This is in the name of research, is it not? It is not.
Do you do it alone? Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells.
Patty, didn't you hear me knocking on the door for you to open up?
Sweetheart.
Well,
Well,
you just gonna stand there and help me with these packages?
oh, you've been shopping?
Brilliant deduction, kiddo. Somebody's gotta prepare for Christmas around here. You know I always come through, right? I always save the day.
Yeah.
The boots, kiddo.
Oh,
What's that racket?
what?
I mean, can't a man have peace and quiet to come home to?
That's holiday music.
Yeah, Can you turn it off, would you?
Sure.
Thanks, kiddo.
Okay. There.
Place looks awful.
Oh, well, it's not finished yet. The garlands are only half hung, and it's a little messy now, but...
It's terrible, Patty. It's Tinseltown, that's what it is.
But you bought...
It's cold and it's ugly. Christmas should be warm and cozy.
But I thought...
You just made it all look cheap.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm...
hey, that's all right. It's 3 days before Christmas. I forgive you.
Oh.
I have just had the worst day. The absolute worst day of my entire life at that plant. But, like a trooper, here I come. Christmas presents and Christmas cheer. Spreading it all over. Sit down. I've got a little surprise for you.
You do?
It's sort of a pre-Christmas present. But it's something I think you're going to like so much that I want to give it to you now.
Honey.
I know.
I have a little surprise for you, too.
Okay, now, blind your eyes. I gotta go get it.
Okay.
Blind your eyes, don't peek. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
You're not peeking?
I'm not peeking.
Okay. Okay, just face forward. Up.
Forward?
Hand it to you.
It's so big.
Yeah.
Oh, Garth. This is so wonderful.
Well, it's not much, but you deserve it.
This is just what I wanted.
I figured if you could use it if I gave it to you early.
Oh, yes.
What's in here, a watch?
You said you needed a new watch.
Christmas is a time when you surprise people, honey. Not just give them what they expected all along. Now, here's what I picked out for little Garth. Where is he?
Next door at the Hartmans.
Good.
What is it?
It's a tinkle sheet.
tinkle sheet?
Yeah, it's rubberized. It's got a little bell attachment with it, so whenever Garth does his on the sheets, the little bell,
Tinkles?
when he does.
Oh, Garth, how could you?
Easy. It's on sale at the Federated.
That's torture.
Torture. You want to know what torture is, Pat? I'll tell you what torture is. I just spent 8 hours being tortured at that lousy plant. Why, Pat? Tell me why. I don't wet the bed, Pat. I just spent 8 hours screwing in rear view mirrors, Pat. Tightening screws, one on the left, one on the right. Till my brain is screwy. What for, Pat? Not for my health. Not for my sanity. But for you! And that weak bedwetting son of yours!
Oh, God, it's not the angel.
You ruin every holiday. You ruin every day. You're no good. You're bringing me down, Pat. I'm warning you.
Garth, it is Christmas. Christmas. Now, can't you see how I am trying to reach out to you, trying to love you?
No, I can't.
Oh, Garth!
You're a crying, sniveling baby. How can any man love that, huh? Answer me that, will you? You're a burden. I hate Christmas!
Christine, Brian, what are you doing here?
Just passing out a little holiday cheer. We figured you could use some, Tot. Oh, I remember the furniture. Early American. How very patriotic.
Thanks.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Brian. Can I get you anything? Ice cream?
Oh, no thanks.
No, thank you. My stomach's been feeling very queasy lately. Kath, we've got a problem.
Oh?
Daddy is going to be here any day now, so we can't talk freely at our house, and we can't have the baby in the hospital because Daddy would want to be there.
So you mean I can't have the baby at the hospital?
What I thought is we would book a room at Fernwood Receiving in my name, and when your labor pains are coming every 5 minutes or so, we'd call Daddy and have him leave for the hospital.
When Kathy delivers the baby, we'll whisk it away with you to the hospital and say it arrived early.
We had it in the limousine.
The chauffeur delivered it. We'll give him a bonus, a week in Cincinnati.
Oh, Brian, how perfectly terrifying. Daddy will be so proud that I did it.
You did it. What about me? What am I supposed to do? Have my baby in the streets?
Oh, no, that wouldn't be very sanitary, Kath. We have a doctor to assist us, someone very low-key, very discreet, and very good at espionage.
Dr. Furman.
Who is tacky, but fine.
But what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to have my baby?
Kathy, you're home here. Why are they here? Are you home for good?
Oh, no, we're just trying to solve a small problem.
Oh, privately.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I really didn't. You just go right ahead, okay? I can't hear a thing, okay? So you just go right ahead.
We're gonna need an inconspicuous place, something that's totally ordinary, clean and comfortable for Kathy to have the baby.
How about my house?
Kathy is having her baby at Mary's house.
Right. I have to have it at Mary's house because I can't have it at the hospital because Christine's father is going to have to...
No, Kathy, don't try to explain it to me. It is just too confusing.
Give me the keys so I can get in the house. Can I ask you why you're in such a big hurry?
Well, if you guys don't want to talk to me because you're so busy talking yourself, that's fine. I won't say anything.
What are you trying to say, darling?
Heather, we want to know. Tell us.
Oh, nothing. Just that I got another call from somebody that sounded a lot like Rabbit George and said he was going to come home.
Ma, this is either a Christmas miracle or a very bad joke or a very good joke.
Well, I'm feeling faint. Had a lot of things happen today. Started with Tom going back to the factory, which was a curious thing. I wondered what was going on there, and he greets Garth and Tiny, and Garth is clearly not loving the job, but Tom kind of rubs it in his face, whether intentionally or not. But they get back to work, and then finds the man that he was looking for, and strangely asks if there's still money in his credit union. $600, which theoretically he's been making way more money than $600, which to me means clearly Tom is running way closer to his limit than he should be. Which smashes into a scene at the Addams residence where Kathy gives lessons to Christine on how to be pregnant, because that's a whole scam. This storyline, while serious for Kathy, is really just an opportunity to get to know these oddball characters who show up and kind of do their thing. And I'm okay with that. I think we don't need every story to be gut punches. Sometimes you just need to see a rich woman pretending to be pregnant. And then we get some Christmas cards from Mary, including a very intriguing survey. First, I wasn't sure if there was something deeper going on, but then, oh, yeah, we got a third letter that is something else. And apparently it really is something else, because we get 3 of the other neighborhood women in the kitchen, and that would be Patty and Kathy and Martha, all excitedly filling out this survey, or at least exploring it at first. What we'll remark, and what was said 3 times by Mary, is the idea of doing it alone. I don't know what that means. Like, if Mary is thinking just about masturbation, or if she's thinking about splitting up with Tom in general. That's something that we might be exploring soon. Not that we'll see, any sexual acts on screen, but that Mary might be thinking about that, one of those 2 things. Mary definitely felt uncomfortable, as she often does, and tries to go away for coffee, but it's clear the other women are entranced by filling out this survey, which seems much like other things. The height report was mentioned, and I know Sherry Height had some surveys back then that turned into a book that was a big seller in the 70s. I haven't read it myself, so I couldn't tell you what's in it, but perhaps I should do some homework. And then another rough day with the Gimbels. And it really is all Garth who brings this toxicity. This is, I feel, unlike anything that would have been on television at the time. Certainly as a running storyline. Seeing it now, it's still really hard. Maybe I'm questioning, why we're seeing the storyline in front of us. However, it also portrays a reality that is held by many women. It's not why are they making it, but I guess the question is what am I taking away from this? I don't necessarily need to get into the specifics of that scene. I think we get it, but this is showing something that's really horrible. If someone is in a situation like this, what do they learn from seeing it on screen? And maybe it's everyone else just not being aware. And if we're talking about television, there's a lot of things that we don't see. I figure we've been talking about this for a little while. We've known this since the beginning, really. Since the beginning of season 2. And I just don't see where this goes. I don't see this getting better. And if it got better, maybe it would be an example of things getting better, but I don't expect it to. And I'll say what I said yesterday, Patty needs to leave Garth. She really needs to go. So I'm just gonna let that scene go, because sometimes you gotta not hold on to things. We end up next door at the Shumways with Kathy enjoying some kind of dessert. I didn't quite make out what it was. Getting a visit from the Addamses and trying to concoct their scheme. Mary shows up with her cake, as she often does, and offers her home again for a place to give birth to the baby. We love it when the Hartman residence is the set that we use, because we don't have budget for other sets. It's all good. That's how it works. Just if some weird event's going to happen, it's going to be in the living room or the kitchen somewhere. And that was our episode, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting down your comments and thoughts below. Thank you, as always, for watching with me, and we will see you Christmas Eve in Fernwood.